rat who gnaws at a cat's tail invites destruction. And I know it's a proverb, I just don't know where it was said and where it originated from. But this is The Cleaner, and it's the John Wick game you wish you had before you play it. And it's an action FPS, feels like John Wick, he's got that mood like John Wick, but you're not John Wick because of copyright, so you're just John Wook or something. So the mood's set really well, the music's nice, it really feels like, gives you the mood of that you're an assassin or hitman, whatever you want to call it. Hunting a whole, pretty much you're hunting a whole child pedophile ring by yourself. There's very little story details given. Let's see here. The music is nice and vibrant, as I said. It gives you that Hitman cleaner feel. It's the style, and it's not the graphics themselves. The graphics are not like super special. They sort of feel like dated, like 10 years ago. But they convey a decent enough mood. You're supposed to have the brightness down super low, but I found like I couldn't even see where I had to jump on an object to continue, so I had to put up the brightness because it was just way too dark in the game. But like, it just, the graphics don't seem overly special, as I said. The bad guys, they look like rejected Hitman characters, protagonists. It makes me wonder why there's load times. Like, I had sort of some weird graphics issues with this game. They put me on a really low resolution from like 20 years ago, and then I had to bump it up to 4K, and then even in 4K it does not look like a 4K game. So I have no explanation for that. It was just really weird that the game seems to be, I don't know, it seems to be not optimized whatsoever, which is just inexplicable considering that the graphics are not using any lighting, as far as I can tell, nothing advanced. So yeah, they're like borderline N64 graphics, and like it's pushing my video card and fans to like crank up. So I expected when I loaded up this game to finally play a game that's worthy of John Wick without using the license of John Wick, and sadly it falls short, pretty far short. And I've been waiting years for a John Wick title. Like, we're almost up to John Wick 4, to give you an idea how long we've been waiting for a decent John Wick title. I don't count John Wick Hex. Yeah, so sadly the game's graphics and gore and ultra violence cannot save it. Yeah, it's cool that you can like blow these guys away and they're slow motion and stuff, but like ultimately one shot kills you, and that's a huge design issue. You know, the gameplay is just simply unbalanced. The game requires extreme patience despite the extreme linear nature of it all. The weapons sound powerful, which is great because that's not always easy to do. But when they run out of ammo so quickly, you have to preserve every last bullet and make sure you pick up every last weapon along the journey. There are times where I missed a pistol and I'm like, oh, I'm all out of ammo, so I'm going around kicking, which is useful for the doors, but it's dangerous to use on the bad guys. So it just seems like, unfortunately, this game, it just has like all sorts of balancing issues. As I said, enemies can kill you in one hit. If you misuse your super brief slow motion, which lasts maybe 3 to 6 seconds, lose track of where the enemy is, it's game over, and it's extremely frustrating, and you have to restart for like the 15th or 25th time. So cons, simply put, this game's execution's lacking, sadly. The game's too unforgiving. I'm very patient. I'm able to complete the first level, or not being able to complete the first level, and enjoy the action component. It's super frustrating. The game appears to be fun until you start encountering the platforming sections as well, which were a bit of a shock for me. So I fell down, and then again you have to start from the very absolute beginning. And it's also the action, it just seems out of place. Like, it seems like a way to buffer the game. And I only found out there's only 6 or 7 stages. So like, if these platform elements weren't there, if the game wasn't so unforgiving, then you probably beat this in like 10 minutes and probably ask for your money back. So that's probably why it's designed the way it is, I assume. There's also way too much fog. It really feels like an N64 game in that sense. The one-hit kill is ridiculous, unnecessary, and it just ruins what would be a very fun action game. unfortunately. Like these mini parkour sequences slowing the game down. The game needs to focus 100% on action sequences. If it had mini save points, it would really help, or even multiple difficulties, or bad guys who can hit like anyone like the classic stormtroopers in Star Wars. I got pretty far in the first stage, but that's it, and then you start over from nothing. And it's just, there needs to be more leniency. It's too frustrating to keep restarting at the absolute start of the level and replay games to perfection. The game costs $10. I even feel $10 is hard to get from this game because it just demands precision shooting and gameplay, and it's not really an action title. Instead, it's like a John Wick meets Rainbow Six game. So it's John Wick meets like Rainbow Six, murky results. This game just had so much potential, and it's sad that like without any further revision, it's gonna be forgotten. Like it's a huge mistake. I give it a 3 or 4 out of 10. Like it's that disappointing. It just does not feel balanced at all. It's just feels sadly incomplete, and it's just not ready for you to consume for gamer consumption. So keep on gaming and keep on hoping for a new John Wick game that finally wicks it. Alright, bye.